48 weeks to go to Everest Base Camp. Here we are, another week, another walk back out of the mountains. Dry here again as well, so this weather's definitely picking up. Let's hope it has turned and it's nicer weather starts coming back, because it's been awful. We don't want any more of this rain back. It's been bloody awful, hasn't it? So let's hope we've turned a corner on that one, but let's wait and see what we go through when we get up and around there. Here we are, levelling off a bit. It's a bit apt to what we're going to be talking about today, to be honest. Rushing around. I used to be terrible for rushing around. I was constantly rushing around. It kind of links back to last week's video. I've been tired and exhausted and knowing when to rest, and I never used to, but it made me rush around so much, and like I said, I was awful, but we'll get into that more when we get a bit further up, so stick around and we'll go through that. But it's like these walks, I spent ages on these walks just rushing, constantly rushing. I spoke about it before, that I spend time, I walk too fast and I do this and I do that, and I never understand why, but being up here, it helps, calms down, and it just makes me stop rushing around and focus on everything that's important. But we'll get into it more in a little bit, so stick around. Here we are, getting up towards the top. I filmed down here when I did the 1 year announcement. That video, it was so dark you couldn't see coming through, but it's just mad. It's just places to walk through, and just talking about not rushing around, and kind of leads on to the same thing really, that I do these walks up these mountains, and it's not like I do the same one every time. There's just so many paths to get to where you want to get to, and it's a bit like life. And I suppose that's when your mind's rushing around, and when you're too busy focusing on the fact you got to do this, you got to do that, you got to do this, and you never get to the right conclusion, the right place. And that's where it does link to last week's with exhaustion really, because you don't think straight. But you just need to take a step back, and it's something I've learned. Again, this isn't advice. It's good big trees falling down. Look at that. Mad. This isn't advice. This is stuff I've learned. I've had to change it myself. Rushing around, I used to be terrible through, really bad, and it was never the right decision. It always made me make the wrong decision, not be confident in the decision I was making. But I take a step back from things now, let things process, let things register, and you come up with the correct answer majority of the time. You don't get anything out of life from rushing around. It's, again, my personal opinion. It's my opinion. These are all my opinions. This isn't me teaching anything. This isn't me advising anything. This is me, again, speaking on camera, giving my life lessons on camera. And rushing around was one I was terrible for. Come home and it made me angry, it made me snappy, because I was rushing around and this needs doing, this needs doing, this needs doing. But then you actually do it and you've still got time afterwards. You've rushed around, panicked and stressed. You don't need to, because you've still got to the same point, which is what I just made about the walks. It all leads to the same point. If you do it and take a step back, you're going to get to the same point you will do by doing it calm instead of rushing around and stressing. Again, my opinion, my thoughts, and it worked for me. It helped me to slow down, not to rush. Not necessarily on the walks, because I know I still push myself, but that's a different thing going on with what I've got planned with Everest and trying to get the fitness in. And I know I'm a long way away, but that's a different story. But rushing around, you don't need to at times. Just at times, sit down. Instead of rushing, sit down, write a list, make a process, because it'll come easier and clarity will kick in, and it always does. The decisions made when tired, when rushing, I don't think they're the right decisions you make. You can make a more relaxed, informed decision by taking that step back, taking control of the situation again. And again, I'm not preaching, this is something I was terrible at. I used to be terrible at rushing around, and so I am really speaking from life lessons on this one. So take it in, take it as you want. And again, it's not me preaching, but it's something I've had to learn the hard way at times, and it helped me. And if it can help you, just take a step back when you think you can't deal with that, or when you got to do something. And you know, I'm fully aware there's going to be situations where you need just to have a little bit of pace or speed or haste about things, and those situations might need that. But when it's something like trying to focus on something or change something, or something needs doing, or rushing around making food, or rushing around because you've got to get some paper done or things like that, just take a step back, refocus, realign, sit down, write a list of which way you want to do it, which order you want to do it in, because it helps, believe me, it helps. But yeah, so I suppose that's today's life lesson. So let's get back, see how far we've gone, and see what the rest of the day brings. Here we are on our way back down. Bit of a calm stroll down, especially after what we spoke about, not rushing around and things. So we'll get back, see how far we've gone, have a coffee and chill out. But for now, these are the reasons. Look, I know I kind of do this on the episodes, but just look, it's just, with the exception of the windmills obviously, but just look where you stood, what you've got on the doorstep. And as always, if anybody knows of any other walks around South Wales, I'm just doing these on my doorstep. If anyone knows of any, drop a comment, we'll have a look. Here we are back. Coffee, in front of the fire. Bit of a longer one today, 16k. I think we're 2 hours 40 minutes, somewhere around there, but I don't really look at tracking the time or the distance anymore. It's just about being up and around in the mountains. It just, like I said, I can't explain. It makes me feel so good. But this has been week 9. It's crazy. 9 weeks of doing these walking videos. It's as well as my other series. So if you haven't watched them, go over and have a look at them. But yeah, again, same as always. If anyone knows of anywhere to go, walks, scenic, lovely things to go and do in South Wales, drop a comment. Let me know.